concentration, not at all worried.
Well, Ivan Basso said yesterday he had a good day, but he didn't know whether he would have another good day. Well, I guess we know the answer now.
He's having a good day. Don't be too surprised about this man. He's got a very good association with the Tour de France. The first year he rode the Tour, he was riding high up in the overall classification. I think on that occasion he was actually leading the white jersey competition. He crashed on the road into Colmar on the 14th of July as Laurent Jalabert was winning the bike race. He then came back a year later, finished 11th overall and won himself the white jersey. Last year he was 7th overall. This year I think he's going to be just a little bit closer.
Well, he's found something special now. Basso has started the day in 6th place, a 6:33 behind Thomas Voigtler. He's now getting time on him. He could be right up behind the new leader, Lance Armstrong, tonight, if it's going to be that way. 10 kilometers to go. The battle here on the Plateau de Bay will continue. As we watch now, Lance Armstrong here dripping in sweat, Paul. Did you see the way this guy is unbelievable, the way he just allows his team to do their job, then he just says, thanks guys, see you for the champagne tonight at dinner.
Well, you know what, he has built over the last few years the best team in the world. It really is amazing the way the team has changed from the team that he had back in 1999 when people said, what a weak team this US Postal Service is. There's no way they can control Lance Armstrong. There's no way they can defend. Tocznik has gone off the back of the group that he was with just a few moments ago, but he's going to ride a very high place in the overall rankings with a performance like this. But to come back to Armstrong's team, he's built the best team in the world for the month of July. This is a magnificent team that he's got. He has complete and utter confidence in them. They all know their job in the team, and when they come to July, nobody else has any other ambition except to help him win the race.
It is absolutely incredible, and the 5-time winners prior to Lance Armstrong all had a bad 6th Tour, but there's no reason now to think that Armstrong will have a bad 6th Tour. He is just too good for the field. He is winning this Tour these past 2 days without seriously attacking them. They just haven't been able to match the tempo-paced riding of the US Postal team. Look at Ulrich here now. He started the day in 16th place, 9 minutes behind Voigtler. He is still in front of Voigtler, but he's a long way behind. Here is Voigtler now. He's going under 10 to go. At this moment, 10 from the top. He is keeping his race lead.
Keeping his race lead, and he doesn't look like he's weakening at all. It's not a great climbing style that he's got, but it's putting a lot of energy into his ability to try and stay in contact with the yellow jersey. He's losing a bit of time to Azevedo, Armstrong and Basso, but he's only lost 1 minute and 45 seconds. It's still possible that this young man can be in the yellow jersey tonight, but it's going to be very close indeed.
Well, these boys are going to continue to lift the tempo all of the time, I think, and he's going to hang on, but he's still got about 3.5 minutes in hand for the last 10 kilometers. It's possible. Armstrong still happy to ride behind Jose Azevedo here, and just wait for the moment it comes. Then I wonder if Lance will remember yesterday when Ivan Basso beat him to the line, the criticism he got because they said he gave him the stage win, which, by the way, Paul and I are certainly not a party to because we don't believe it, but we'll see. We'll see if he attacks him. And the return of Tocznik here, who is a bit revitalised man these last couple of years. He was last year's champion of Austria, and he is a very, very good climber. Now he's refound himself a little bit.
National time trial of Austria this season, and certainly a few years ago we thought he was going to be a rider who could finish high in the overall classification. I think we're looking there at number 17, the new leader of T-Mobile, a man who a few years ago won Paris-Nice, an early season stage race in dominating style, and we thought this is the new German star. He vanished for a couple of seasons. This year he seems to have turned over the fold, and he's coming back to the top of the sport. Jan Ullrich, what can you say? This man has been to the Tour de France on 6 occasions. He's won once and he's finished second on 5 occasions. He's going to have a hard time, I think, Phil, this year actually getting second place.
He might have a hard time getting over the mental block of having been so bad on these 2 days in the Pyrenees, and he might not finish the Tour de France at this moment in time. Lance Armstrong has built up his cadence there, and it looks to me now as though he might be building up on the finish, which is 8.7 kilometers away.
That cadence of his, just a glimpse of it for a few moments there. He's a man who over the last few years has learned to pedal very fast. fast on a bicycle. That has become his secret. Ullrich, on the other hand, pedals very slowly, around about 85 revolutions every minute, but uses a much bigger gear. Armstrong's ability to pedal this very low gear at high revolutions allows him to produce incredibly violent accelerations on the slopes of a climb like this. These are the two chasers, Francisco Mancebo on the front there, the Spanish national champion, and the German national champion, Andreas Klöden, in second place.
So we're looking at the riders here now on the climb of the Plateau de Baille. The whole Tour de France is spread-eagled right across this mountain. This is Georg Tocznik here. Well, there's no change here on the Plateau de Baille. Still up front, setting the pace, is the teammate of Lance Armstrong, Jose Acevedo. But look here now, and this is now Jan Ullrich. He's hit the limit of his ability in this Tour de France this weekend. He is now struggling as he falls further and further behind. The whole of the Tour de France is now climbing in ones and twos, and despite any real attack from anybody, the race has disintegrated.
It's all really because of the pressure of one man's team. Look at this, the yellow jersey still all over his machine, digging for every last ounce of little bit of energy he can put into his pedaling style. His pedaling style is not pretty, as if you look at it, the way he's getting out of the saddle is not smooth, but at least it's keeping him in with a chance of holding the yellow jersey for at least a couple more days.
Riding alongside the Russian rider there, Vladimir Karpits, and he's got somebody to measure his effort against. Never say this man doesn't know pain anyway. He's learned how to suffer this past week, and he's still got a real chance of keeping that yellow jersey for a bit longer, because he went under 10 kilometers, a minute and 45 seconds behind Armstrong, who is the next obvious candidate. This is Philippe Gilbert, who is also riding well, so well. He's left the Maillot Jaune side. He's come up behind Jan Ullrich.
Ullrich now is just going to ride his own personal individual time trial. But don't discount the quality of this bike rider. Armstrong made no bones about the fact that he wanted to go into the final time trial with a huge buffer over Jan Ullrich. Jan Ullrich has the ability to beat some of the riders who are very good in the mountains by 4 or 5 minutes in the final time trial of the Tour de France, which is why right now they are trying to put seriously big time gap between themselves and this man, who I think could very well be the dominant factor in the latter part of the Tour, but today he doesn't look like a very strong character.
Unlike the other riders, he rides on the bottom of the